Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to my Gingerbread Kisses and Hot Cocoa Wishes collab. This collab is hosted by Krista's Crafty Live and co-hosted by Rustic and Lace DIY. Let's get right into my first DIY. For my first DIY, I'm making this cute little sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to change it very much because it's so daggum cute that it really didn't need a whole lot of changing. So what I did is just took that little hanger off and I flipped it over and I sanded off, well, I took off those little pieces first. And then I sanded off the glitter. I am not a big glitter person when it comes to signs. The only time I really like glitter is when I'm making my custom tumblers. But anyway, when I did that, I took my white Waverly chalk paint and I painted over it so you couldn't see it. And it did cover it well, but it was a little bit whiter than the original white. So what I did to separate that is after I glued on my little faux beads right there, I took some twine right where the paint ended and I've wrapped the twine around it 2 or 3 times. Now that gave it a little bit of character, gave it a little bit of just, a little just character. I don't know what else to call it. It changed it up a little bit and it separated that harsh line. And if you look at it, you can see the difference in the colors, but it almost makes it look like it's supposed to be that way. So then I took some of this ribbon that you can get from the Dollar Tree that matches the cute little black and white checkered pattern, and then I took my new favorite thing to decorate with, and that is this, I don't know, it's like a sort of a rope, but it's not a rope, if that makes any sense. I'll have to find the name and put it down in the description below. It comes in several different colors, but it makes the cutest little bows. And then I made a little finger bow to go right on top of it. And you make a finger bow by just wrapping it around your fingers 8, 9, 10 times, depending on how thick you want it. And then I just tied everything together with a little piece of twine. And I taped it, not taped it, Lord have mercy. I glued it to the top of my sign. And then Dollar Tree has come out with the cutest little beads. And they have several different colors. I've never seen them before my trip that I made the other day to the Dollar Tree, but I fell in love with these beads. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm just cutting the end of my little tail off of my bow because it was a little bit too long. And then I'm going to grab these beads, but look at them. There's a natural, a white, a sort of a darker brown, and a black, and they are just adorable. If I had to guess, I would say they were about 10 millimeters, and I'm going to use black and white, and I wish I would have put brown in there, and you'll see why in just a minute when you see my next 2 DIYs. But the black and white worked just fine. It gave it a little bit of character, and that finished off my sign. So like I said, I didn't change it up too much because it was just so daggum cute the way it was. But let me know down in the comments what you think about this first sign. I just love it. This is a gingerbread and hot cocoa collab, as I said in the beginning, and it said Gingerbread Bakery, which I thought was cute. So my next sign I absolutely love. I found this little shiplap sign at the Dollar Tree. I've never seen this before. And as cute as the front is, I didn't want to use the front because I'm going to chalk on it. So I turned it over and I used my favorite black, this chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree. I love, love, love that stuff. If you've ever seen any of my videos where I've used it before, you know that I'm a huge fan. It takes very, very little of this paint, and it has the most amazing one coat coverage, and it dries very quickly with my hot heat gun. So I just dried it off, and then I took this cute little chalk transfer that says hot cocoa, cozy blankets and Christmas movies. And that's me in the wintertime all day long. That is me to a T. And I thought that was just adorable for this collaboration. So I laid it down, and you'll see me change my mind on a few things here. Originally, I wanted to use the white, the gold, the red, and my favorite green pesto. Well, on that dark black, the pesto didn't really show up good. So you'll see me paint the tree pesto. You'll see me paint the little flannel cup red, but then you'll see me go back and do something completely different because it didn't show up good and it was just ugly, honestly. So then I took my gold shimmer paint and I found all of the little snowflakes and I chalked all of those in that shimmer gold. Cutest color ever. Then, like I said, I did the little cup and the little peppermint stick in red, but it was ugly. And then I figured, well, you know what, I'm going to mix a little bit of white in there. And I called myself distressing the cup, but all I did was messed that cup up. I mean, you'll see, it made a mess. So I ended up in the end just taking my black paint. Watch this reveal, though. Oh, my word, I love it. Every stinking time, it's perfect. So I went back, I washed my little screen and I put it back on there and I used my gold on the tree and it just popped. That tree stood out and it was like in your face and it was beautiful with the gold. Well, then I thought, well, I bet you that cup would be pretty in the gold, but I couldn't cover it, that red with the gold. It just would not cover it and it was ugly. So I end up taking my my black chalkboard paint and just painting over that whole cup. And you'll see why in just a minute. Now, it looks like it's kind of cute right there, but trust me, up close it's not. Well, I found these little ornaments at the Dollar Tree that's shaped like a little cup of cocoa, and it's just adorable. So that's me taking that black chalkboard paint and just covering that spot up. And then once it dried, I took this black and white flannel fabric that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I covered up this little cup of cocoa, and I used Mod Podge to Mod Podge it down. And then once it was all Mod Podge down and dried, I used some Mod Podge on the top of it to seal it up. And once I got that done, I took my scissors and I cut out all around it until you could see the shape of the cup. Now, if I'd have done anything different here, I would have put one of those little tiny square blocks from the Dollar Tree up under it to raise it up a little 3D off of the picture. But it still was cute either way whenever I got through with it. And I thought that flannel on that cup made it perfectly match my first little picture with the black and white flannel. And as you know, if you've been watching my channel, my daughter Sarah bought her dream home and she's got the black and white flannel throughout her kitchen, and she had asked me for some Christmas stuff, so I'm making her this. Now, this is why I said I wish I'd have put a little bit of brown in the beaded hanger of the other one, because I used the brown, the white, and the black, and I thought it was so pretty. And there's me with that stuff again. I don't know what that stuff is called, just like a poofy twine. But I went ahead and made another bow and put it right on top, and look how cute that picture turned out. Is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? I'm so glad that I went back and painted and covered up that old messy cup and did this little ornament here, because it gives it a little 3D effect, gives a little bit of a character and cuteness, or whatever you want to call it. Now, for DIY number 3, I'm just making me a simple little beaded garland to match. I'm going to use another one of those little cups, and I'm going to paint it with that black chalkboard paint. And it takes very, very little to paint the whole thing, back and front. And once I got it painted and it dried, I have these little Christmas minis. And what minis are, as you see, there's several little miniature squares with different little Christmas things, and they're all transfers. And I cut out the one that looks like a little snowman face, and I just thought it was the cutest little face. I put that on the cup, and I did the eyes and the mouth in white, and then I did the little nose in our color called orange peel. Get my tongue untied. And that orange peel was the perfect orange for that snowman's nose. And then I took those same little beads, and I just thought they were so cute. And when I seen it on that hanger of that second picture, I fell in love with it. And that's what made me decide to do this little beaded garland. I had no intention of doing a beaded garland until I seen how pretty the hanger for that second sign was. So I went ahead and took black, white, and brown, and I strung them on some twine, and I made myself a little beaded garland. I put that little cup on one end of it, and then I made me a little tassel for the other end. And how I brought the black and white flannel check in is the Dollar Tree has some little ribbon that's a black and white check. So what I did is I just took one little piece, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but I took one little piece of that ribbon and I added it to my little tassel that I made for the end. But look how cute that looks on that thing with that little face on there. I think it's just adorable. And look how pretty that whole beaded garland is. I just love it. I love those colors of beads. I'm going back, and I hope they have more. I only got one bag of each, but I love them, and I sure hope they have more when I go back. So anyway, this is me making my little tassel. I'm tying it to the end. I'm cutting the little thing at the bottom. There is that little ribbon. It's just going to take a little piece, a few inches long, so that it'll wrap all the way around my little piece of tassel right there. And you always make a little head for your tassel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around my tassel, and then I'm just going to take my twine and tie the little head to my tassel like I always do. Once I get that knot tied in there, then I'll grab it all up and give it a nice little haircut across the bottom and make it all smooth and even. And that, my friends, is that for making this beaded garland. Look how stinking cute that little thing is. I love it. This is just adorable, and it brings the whole entire vignette together with those colors. And again, I wish I would have put, even if it was just 2 or 3 of those little brown beads in that first sign, and I may very well go back and add a couple of them. I'm not sure yet. I'm undecided about that. But let me show you my final reveal. And while I'm showing you my final reveal, I just want to thank Krista's Crafty Life and Brenda over at Rustic and Lace DIY. We have a little group. There's just a few of us, and we call it our OG Collab, and we get together on the 20th of every month. Well, most months we get together on the 20th. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. And if we can't for a particular month, then we'll come back for the following month and join in the collab that way. But if for some reason you have never been to my channel before, welcome to Monner's Market. My name is Brenda, but my precious little grandbabies call me Monner. Leave me a comment down in the section below and let me know what you think about this video and all of my DIYs. Again, thank you for watching my Gingerbread Kisses and Hot Cocoa Wishes collab. There is a playlist listed down below. Be sure to go to it and see what the other ladies have created for you. As always, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now.